section 10, you can say things that you think need clarification, or you can say additional things that you think do not fit in these forms. And you don't have to just write in these 4 lines. You can say, please see attached continued document, and then you would attach another page with your comments explaining or clarifying other details that you'd like to add. Okay? Your chance to argue a little bit or further remove doubt in the evaluator's minds. Okay? And then finally, there's a bit of an ethical statement saying, please believe what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is truthful and honest. And then there's also a way to provide payment. Currently, the cost of registration with APEGGA, the application fee, is $270 for PNG. For member in training, it's $130. Okay. Let's see here. So let's look at the request for academic documents form. That's another single page that I gave you. It looks like this here. Okay. So APEGGA would like, ideally, APEGGA would like to see your transcripts directly from your university, sent from your university to APEGGA. Okay? Ideally.
Yeah, but the other way is also possible.
Pardon?
That we send. We ask our universities to send our
Yes.
transcripts and everything.
Yeah. So that's what this form is. This form is something that you are going to send to your university and say, please, what does it say here? Dear Registrar. The Registrar is the office in a university that controls your transcripts, the records of all the students that go there. Okay? Dear Sir or Madam, in support of my application for registration as a professional engineer in the province of Alberta, would you please forward a copy of a transcript of my record? For international engineering graduates, they don't require the certificate. Okay? For international engineers, they need only the transcript, the list of your courses or your mark sheets, right? And you're requesting that your university send these documents directly to the Director of Registration, APEGGA. Okay? Sincerely, your name, your faculty, your degree, and any information that you think they need to know who you are to send the correct document. You don't need to use this form. APEGGA supplies this form because it's an official sort of document from APEGGA, and some universities will act quicker if they receive a document from an official third party, right? Some universities may not want to communicate with you directly. If you call them, they say no, right? But if they receive a document like this, they may do something, they may act a little bit quicker. I don't know. If you can communicate with your university via phone call and they'll do it for you, that's fine too. Right? You only need to use this if you need to use it. And then copy of your landed immigrant status, your landing papers, or your citizenship card will be required if you're applying as a PNG. And then English language competency documentation, as we discussed at some point. Once APEGGA receives those, does everyone have my phone number?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, once APEGGA receives those education documents and they've got your transcripts, what do they actually do? How do they evaluate them? There's 5 categories for engineering education according to APEGGA standards. There's the Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board schools. These are Canadian engineering degree programs. Mutual recognition agreement schools, countries, the following countries: US, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, South Africa, France, Japan, and Singapore. These countries have mutual recognition agreements with Canada, with APEGGA, saying if you recognize our engineers, we will recognize your engineering graduates. Does anyone see any schools or countries that are not here that should be, in your opinion?
Yeah. But I went to school in Germany, and I would consider German education quite world class.
I would think that German engineering education is probably strong, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the strongest. It's not on the list. What does that mean? There's no mutual recognition agreement in place. Do you think that Canada rejected Germany?
Maybe the other way.
Maybe it's the other way around? I don't know,
Probably.
but it doesn't mean that because your university is not on the list, it's a bad university. It just means that there's no recognition agreement there yet. Okay? That's all it means. Now, and there are certainly strong universities, some of the strongest universities in the world in many countries, such as China, India, Pakistan. These countries have very strong engineering schools. They're just not in that mutual recognition agreement yet. So that's basically the reason why. The foreign degree list. These are undergraduate degrees in engineering that are on a list called the foreign degree list. There are a list of schools that APEGGA has evaluated in many countries around the world that are not here. APEGGA and Engineers Canada has looked at these schools and said, these are good engineering programs. Okay? Non-FDL schools, these are undergraduate degrees in engineering that are not on the FDL because they have not been evaluated, because there are new universities, there's thousands of universities in the world. Some of them have never been evaluated. And some of them have been rejected or have been deemed unacceptable because they don't meet certain requirements to be on this list. All right? And then finally, non-engineering degrees. Non-engineers, believe it or not, can be professional engineers with APEGGA. Non-engineering education, such as a 2-year NATE or SIC diploma, can be, they can be engineers. So can physicists, applied chemists, mathematicians, and other sorts of professionals.
And do you have the list of FDLS? So you don't.
I don't have the list because it's really huge and it always changes. But APEGGA can give you an answer within a high level of probability about your degree. If you call the registration department and ask them, they will be able to tell you within, again, 80–90% probably yes. Yeah. In most cases, yes, that kind of thing. Or no. Okay, and then you have those 5 categories. What do they mean in terms of evaluation and requirements? So, mutual recognition agreement schools probably have 0 technical exams whatsoever. Possibly 98 CS 1, 2, or 3 exams may be required. Okay, so exams in the areas of engineering, economics, health, safety, and environment, or management. If those people don't have those courses in their undergraduate degree, or don't have sufficient levels of experience in their work. FDL schools, people who go to those schools that APEGGA says are on the FDL list, they may be required to write the FE or 3 confirmatory exams. Okay? Possibly the 98 CS 1, 2, and 3, again, depending on their experience and education. Non-FDL schools will be required to write the FE or 5 confirmatory exams, plus the 98 CS 1, 2, and 3. And then non-degrees, they may be required to write up to 24 exams. I've seen a mathematician write 13 exams and become an engineer. I've seen an applied chemist write 9 exams in 2 years and become an engineer. Like I said, everybody is eligible to become a professional engineer. There is a process for all of you, and luckily you all have engineering degrees, right? So you're going to be somewhere in these categories. And the process is definitely something you can do. Everyone, you all can do this. Okay, so that's the education. What are confirmatory exams? Those exams that I mentioned. Confirming the quality of your undergraduate degree. The assumption is that you have an undergraduate degree in engineering, and if you don't, you'll be assigned a course-by-course evaluation up to 24 courses. It covers the material already taken in your degree, and it's like an undergraduate degree subject and a final exam in an undergraduate degree. I'm going to turn the camera off because I'll go into the internet now and we'll show you some of the exams that have been offered in the past. They're available publicly, and I think you'll all be very curious to see those exams, right? Okay. All right.